Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First of all, I've got a couple confessions to make on the sheet. It says I'm a pilot. I'm actually an ex-pilot, no longer a pilot. And another confession is I really like magic. I think it all started, like a lot of people who dabble in magic or perform magic, it started when I got a magic set for Christmas. And I was very eager to put on my very first show, and so I even made this box to go along with my very first show. So I think I was about 12 years old. I was in my parents' basement, 14 or 15 people sitting around folding chairs, eating triangle sandwiches, sipping soda. I pulled out some playing cards. The cards were kind of big, my hands were kind of small, but this was the very first trick of the very first show. And I said about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I took one of the cards, I stuck it into the box. I waved my hands, I snapped my fingers. Magically and amazingly, on account of the cards, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Everybody pumped their fist in the air and said, Zelnick, that's amazing.
Zelnick, that's amazing.
What's your name, sir?
Ken.
Yeah, we forgot to tell everybody that this is full audience participation. That's okay, you guys didn't get the memo, you didn't get the note, you didn't know you had a line, you didn't know what was coming. So we're going to try it again. I was actually 7 years old. I was in my parents' basement. There were 40 or 50 people sitting around on folding chairs, eating triangle sandwiches, chugging beer. Very first trip, very first show, my hands were kind of small, the cards were kind of big. So I said about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I put not 1, but 2 of the cards in the box. I snapped my fingers, I waved my hand. Magically and amazingly, when I counted the cards, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. Everybody, you gotta wait for the punchline! Everybody pumped their fist in the air and said, Zelnick, that's amazing! This guy's still just kind of dumbfounded. We're going to have to try to get the whole room in it, so we're going to try it one more time. I was 3 years old, and I was in my parents' basement. 400, 500 people sitting around on triangle sandwiches, eating folding chairs, pounding shots. It was pure mayhem. Very first trick, very first show, hands were really small, cards were really big. I said I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards into the box. I snapped my fingers, I waved my hand, magically and amazingly. When I counted the cards, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. The cards disappeared, and everybody said, Zelnick, that's amazing! It's amazing! Everybody look at gentlemen and back, that's okay, that's okay. I think you guys are kind of warmed up and ready to get going. A catchphrase or a term that we hear a lot lately is change management. And as society changes more quickly and technology changes at an ever-increasing rate, I think this is a phrase that we're going to hear for quite some time. So what does magic have to do with change management? I have no idea. No, actually, as a magician, my job is to make the impossible seem possible. A lot of people look at change as impossible or improbable or, and we got to do that again. As a magician, my job is to guide your perceptions. They say perception is reality. So my job is to guide your perceptions, guide your reality, so that what you're experiencing seems like magic. As change leaders, our job is to guide the perceptions, guide the expectations, so that what we're trying to accomplish, at a very minimum, seems plausible. Now, some of you may have an idea of how this magic was done. But I'm willing to bet $1, maybe even $1.25, that by the time you get home tonight, you would have a very hard time recreating what it is that you just saw. It's going to be the same thing with change. You might have an idea of what it is that you're wanting to accomplish, what it is that you're trying to change, but without the right tools, without the right secrets, you're going to have a hard time making that change successful. Now, change is hard. I know, my life has been a whole series of changes. Imagine moving to a city with no job, no place to stay, and the total number of people you know in that town adds up to 0. That was me right out of college. As humans, we instinctively resist change. We like what we know. We like what is comfortable. We like our routines. A lot of times change doesn't happen until the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same. And that sounds like from the Rotary, we have some things that you'd like to change, how to get more participation. So that would be a change process that as this group would try to go through. So this change management doesn't just apply to companies, but it can apply to organizations, it can apply to personal and family lives. Now, as a magician, I'm bound by the universal laws to not reveal the secrets of magic. But I can share the secrets to successful change implementation. So that's what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over those secrets. Now, these are the same secrets that companies hear when they bring me in to speak to their leadership teams. These are the same secrets that, when implemented properly, can lead to successful change implementation. Now, on the tables in front of you, there's two, well, actually, there's several. There's two 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper that are for me. One is a short evaluation that I would appreciate you filling out at the end, and we'll go back to that in a second. And the other is just kind of a cheat sheet for you to help you remember what we're going to go over today. I found that writing things down or taking little notes will make it easier for you to remember. And to make it easier for me to remember, the secrets actually spell out change. So just to kind of get a feel maybe for what you guys are more interested in. Are you more interested in change at a company level, organizational level, or a personal level? Show of hands, company level. Okay, show of hands, organizational level. Show of hands, personal level. Okay, so, and some of you guys just don't care, but that's okay. So it seems like we're more interested on a personal level. So the C stands for clarify your vision. And now this doesn't mean put on your glasses and go to the eye doctor and get your eyes checked out. It means having a very clear idea of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, what it is that you want to change. In his book, John Cotter talks about, in his book, Leading Change, John Cotter talks about being able to express that in less than 5 minutes. So some of that might be easy. But to say, hey, we're going to keep our house cleaner is not necessarily having a very clear picture, because everybody in the family is going to have a different idea of exactly what that means. So we need to have a very clarified picture. So C stands for clarifying your vision. H stands for have commitment from leadership. On a company level, the leaders might get together and say, hey, this is what we're going to do. On an organizational level, same thing. The officers of the Rotary Club might get together and say, hey, we're going to do this to make our club better. Now, if only half the people buy into that, you're going to have a hard time, because not all the leaders are going to agree. So everybody needs to commit. On a family level, I know I tried this at home, getting my kids to be more responsible with their chores and having a checklist. Now, my wife didn't buy into that, so when I wasn't there, she wasn't enforcing that, so that changed. It lasted for a little while, but since she didn't buy into it, it didn't really happen. So H stands for having commitment from leadership. A stands for attitude. Probably all have heard this before, this expression before. It's not what happens to you, it's how you react what happens to you. And as humans, we have the ability to change our attitude. Sometimes it's just a simple matter of remembering or reminding yourself, hey, I need to have a good attitude. Attitude affects everything. Again, if the leadership or if people don't have the buy-in or not having the same attitude about what it is that you're trying to accomplish, then it's just not going to happen. N stands for no fear. Now, fear is kind of related to attitude. They're kind of similar. Zig Ziglar used to say that fear was an acronym for false evidence appearing real. 9 times out of 10, that's accurate. Most of the things that we are afraid of, we don't really need to be afraid of. Embarrassment is a part of life, and that's probably the biggest thing that most people are afraid of. So N stands for no fear. But fear actually changes our physiology. Having fear can affect our decisions both consciously and subconsciously. Our body chemistry actually changes when we have fear. And like I said, it can affect our decisions subconsciously. So I'm going to try something. Sir, what's your name? Matt. Matt, I want you to think of something that you experienced lately that caused you fear, something that you were afraid of, something that made you tense. Everybody has things they're afraid of. Some some people it's flying airplanes or jumping out of airplanes. For me, it's my mother-in-law's cooking. Fortunately, I don't have to experience that very often. So if you have something in your mind, something that you're afraid of, a car accident. Well, thank you for sharing. And so, did you see the car accident coming ahead of time? So you had that moment right before it happened that you knew this was coming and it just kind of like freaked you out. Okay, and what's your name again? Matt. Thanks for remembering. Okay, Matt, I want you to have a free choice of cars. I just wanted to make sure you're still paying attention. I want you to have a free choice of cards, and I want you to have that, remember that fear, feel that fear, and just go ahead and touch any one of the cards. Just touch it. That one right there. Okay. Would you like to change your mind? Are you happy with that decision? Okay. Now, as you take the card, I don't want you to look at it. Either hold it between your hands or set it on the table. Or back to that just a second. You have, I'm going to have to come to you because I don't want to look on speaker. You've got a smile. All the way over here. You have a smile on your face, and so you look like you're having a good time. I want you to think of something that you had success in lately. Maybe you completed a project, either at home or at work, or something that you're really looking forward to, that you have a lot of confidence in is going to work and be successful. Okay, do you have that? Okay. And again, same thing. And what's your name? Jeff. Jeff, that's right. Jeff, same thing. I want you to go ahead and touch any one of those cards. Just touch it. Is that the one you want? Do you want to change your mind? Are you sure that's the one you want? Okay. Same thing. Go ahead. Just either put it on the table. Very good. Now we have in the deck of cards. I saw you guys using cards at the beginning to try to win money. We're not winning money. But we have 4 suits in the cards. And what suit do you guys think would represent fear the most?
Spades. Or club. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the black suits was spades or clubs. For me, I think it would be spades. Ace of spades is usually considered the death card, right? Anybody who plays the game spades, if you get caught with the queen of spades, then you get all the points, and that's the one you want to try to stay away from. So from that standpoint, would most of you agree that spades could be considered the darkest suit, the one that would represent fear the most? Yeah. And on the other side of that, so if the black suits are the fear ones, the red suits would be the happy colors, or the happy suits. So what of those 2 suits do you think would be symbolized more prosperous? Hearts or diamonds? Ladies? Thank you. So Matt, you were thinking of this car accident. This is something, now when you think back to it, do you still get tense? Do you still have this sense of fear when you think back to that accident? No. But you remember that feeling when you were drawing the card. Okay, so for the first time, go ahead and look at your card and show it to everybody. Well, what did you get? The 10 of spades. Subconsciously, as he was thinking about fear, he picked one that's got one of the most black amount of space on the card. And then Jeff, 3 times in a row, you got it right. Jeff, what was the happy, successful thing that you were thinking about? You want to share that with us?
I was thinking of having my 2 boys working throughout the summer.
So having a decent pot in the house would be very, and you feel confident that you're able to accomplish that.
They're working today.
They're working today. So you're off to a good start. Hopefully that'll last all summer. So you had this happy thought of having a nice quiet house for the summertime, and your son's actually going out making some money. How old are they?
16 and 12.
16 and 12. So it's probably the 16 probably eager about making money. The 12 years old has been here a little bit. So anyway, what part of the Queen of Diamonds? So again, his subconscious was choosing which card to pick. The Queen of Diamonds has got to be one of the most prosperous cards in the deck. The only 2 would be higher would be the King of Diamonds and the Ace of Diamonds. So fear, when we're looking at fear, we need to find some ways to eliminate or greatly diminish our fear, because fear can affect our decisions whether we want to believe that or not. G stands for go faster or urgency. A lot of times when we're trying something new or trying to implement a new process, whether it's getting the kids to do chores or go out and work, a lot of times we start off, it's all real bang, and we're going along real good, and then all of a sudden all of a sudden the boys want to go to the pool for a couple days. And they had a lot of fun instead of work. This was fun, we'll go to the pool. And all of a sudden things kind of start to slow down. Maybe I don't want to work so much, I don't need to do so much fun. Pool was fun, yeah. Can we go to the pool again? So now all of a sudden things start to slow down. We've hit some roadblocks, we've hit some obstacles. And so we need to keep that urgency going. Maybe setting some intermediate goals like, as soon as you make $200, then you can go to the pool again. When you make $400, you can go to the pool for 2 days or whatever it is. But we need to be able to keep that urgency going, keep us going faster, because as soon as we start slowing down, it's not a habit. And until it's a habit, we're going to start slowing down, and it's all of a sudden we're going to be back doing the old way things we were before, because that's what we're comfortable with. We're comfortable with our old habits. And then E stands for evaluate. We need to continually evaluate where we are. As a guided missile, it's continually making adjustments on course. The longer we go without evaluating, the larger those course adjustments need to be. So as your sons are working, maybe having some checkpoints along the way to keep them excited, keep them going, evaluate how they're doing along the way. As a club, you're wanting to figure out how we can get more people involved and activated in some of the projects outside of just coming to meetings. And so as you come up with those ideas, again, you're going to want to evaluate, how do we do? We got 4 people this time, well, maybe next time we get 8 people, next time we get 12 people, or whatever those things are. But we need to keep evaluating, so if next time nobody shows up, okay, obviously what we did didn't work that time, so now we need to make course adjustments. We need to keep making adjustments and evaluations, keeping ourselves on track. So there you have it. There's your secrets to having a successful change. Now here's a question for most of you. Have anybody in here ever had to make a life-altering decision that they did not want to make? Getting married doesn't count. Because hopefully you wanted to make that decision. Okay, well, here's another question for you then. Imagine this, you show up to work tomorrow and work's not there. The building might be there, but the office is gone. There's no desk, there's no computers, there's no people. Nothing is there.
Hallelujah.
There's somebody who's looking forward to retirement. A little while later, you get an email on your phone that lists your 4 options. Option number 1 is you can continue in your same position, but you have to relocate to another city. With no guarantee that in a year or so, the same thing's not going to happen all over again. Option number 2, keep your same position, but you need to commute to another city. And this commute is far enough away that you would have to either leave Sunday night or Monday morning, and not come back till Friday night or Saturday morning. So that's option 2. Option 3, keep your same position, but move to a different company. But by doing that, you're losing seniority and have to take a serious pay cut. Option 4, put what you're doing all together and find something else to do and stay living where you are. Now this might sound like a hypothetical question, but this is basically what happened to me and why I am no longer a pilot and now a magician and a speaker. It took away my job, and those are the choices I had to make. No matter what choice I made, my life was going to be dramatically different than it was before I made that decision. It's probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make, but that was a change process that I had to go through. So change happens to us every day, and one of the things that we need to go into life with is, going back to the attitude, is a growth mindset. And having that growth mindset will help us encounter all these different changes that we need to make. You got some more changes coming up. It's not as easier as you get more, but still have some changes you're going through. So that's basically all I have for you today. We've got the evaluation forms on the table. I'm going to give you a little bit of incentive, and then I'm going to teach you. Anybody who fills out the evaluation form on the table, you get to take home a free magic trick. And I'm going to show you the magic trick, and if you fill out the evaluation, I'll show you how it's done. And that's it. Anybody have any questions?
Where's the evaluation?
They're on the table. It's the one with my picture in the top right corner. I put some of them on. I put enough on every table.